very artsy. Friday the 5th, Copenhagen, on our bus to, where are we going? Nyhavn. Ollie span around on.
There's not even any people on it, where they can't find anyone daring enough to go up there. Look,
Where he had to take his coat off and fly around in the freezing cold in his shirt. And there's the entrance. There's people queuing to go in today. Very peaceful, very quiet. There's bunks. This could be Balamory, which is a children's TV programme. What's the story in Balamory? Wouldn't you like to know?
No bin, more sky. Right, it's going to be this one. Right?
There we go. David Bailey in action.
I think they're good.
Perfecto. Are they perfect?
Not really.
Did you get the equal amount of the sky, Ian? Did you get equal amount of sky? Ian, I'm talking to you.
I'm just doing my job. And if I do it now, you get a boat going past.
There's the boat. I bet that's our boat that we can go on.
It is.
Really?
Right, I'd like one with my mum and dad now, please.
Oh, really?
Which one should I drink? Oh.
Georgie, try it old fashioned.
Yeah, get him one of Dad's.
Might be raining. Looks like he's shutting the windows, so perhaps we're in for a bit of rain. Make us feel at home.
Tour. Make sure your children also stay seated and keep their arms in the pockets or close. Yeah, and the life vests are under not under the seats, but under the nose of the ship and under the engine hub. Welcome.
Oh, I really don't want to go in the water today.
Meine Damen und Herren, willkommen an Bord. Die Scheine der klassische Canal-Tour ended in and out of Copenhagen. Just like the rest of the Danes, and this is also, by the way, the old regent, Her Majesty Queen Margaret II's preferred church. She was married here in 1967 with her husband, the late Prince Henri de Montpensier. This harbour shifted from being an industrial harbour into a cultural harbour. The big industries in the south end behind us stopped to produce. The community leveled the sewage drains, and very quickly the water became so clean that we can swim here. After 11 wars in the last 500 years, the Danes and the Swedes became so good friends that a bridge could be built for the publishing in 2000. After that, nobody wanted to take the carriage anymore. So since then...
Are you warm here? you
Coming
filling
up
it?
in front of us to the right, the yellow brick warehouse with the flags and the sailing ship in front of it. This is the North Atlantic House. From that building and from the square in front of it, we sold the goods and items that we collected from our North Atlantic colonies
Oh,
throughout
right.
a period of 200 years. The Danish colonies in the
Right.
North Atlantics were and are Greenland, the Faroe Islands, and Iceland. And today, Iceland is a sovereign nation, but the two other regions are still parts of Denmark and has two cities in the parliament. It's called the Inner Harbor Bridge, very originally named after the bridge. Take a look to the left. You can see to the left after the bridge the entrance from the waterway into Nyhavn, the new harbor, famous for the beautifully colored buildings and the restaurants and the bar. 350 years ago, the purpose was to
That's where we took all those thousands of photos.
with the King's New Square at the end of the canal.
That's where I sat on a rock.
And the Danish fairy tale writer Hans Christian Andersen also lived here for 20 years, but he's come here at least once. Yeah. Very nice area for evening drink.
Oh, Hans came there. To New
Also to the
Harbour.
left, the modern building. This is the Royal Theatre's Playhouse.
Royal
It opened the
Theatre.
stage in 2008.
We're all having dinner.
It was William Shakespeare's Hamlet. Hamlet takes place in Denmark. Of course, they also renamed the pier on the other side into Ophelia Square after the character Ophelia from the beginning class. And the opera house was a
Opera
gift
house.
from
Loving the opera
owner of
house.
the Maersk shipping line, the shipping tycoon Maersk himself donated a big opera house to Copenhagen. How about that? The park here to the left, the opera park, was opened only a few months ago. Completed only 18 years after the ropes and the masts and the sails for the many warships in the Royal Danish Navy. Over here to the right, the yellow brick house. This was the old arsenal where they kept the cannons and the cannonballs for the many warships in the Royal Danish Navy. Here comes a bridge. Please stay seated outside. Thank you.
Duck, 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 duck.
I bet that boat can't go up.
Denmark has the world's oldest Royal Navy. It was founded in 1510. This was 139 years before the Royal British Navy was founded. The newcomers, actually, a small hotel called the Kai Hotel. Here it is to the left, the small wooden building made with recycled wood. The Kai Hotel, maybe you live there with their cars. So we have a lot of old car ferries being replaced once in a while. They can become very nice houseboats, like this one to the.
A houseboat. Wow, look at that.
Okay, take a look
I like
around
that.
the corner here to the right.
Made from an old car ferry.
I like it. I'd live
Here
there.
you can see a big sealed off area in the water. This is the Naval Museum area of Copenhagen. This was where
Wow.
we kept the 33. But today this is just a museum area with a couple of museum ships, because today the Danish Navy operates on two coast projects. Simply won't say today, we are no longer trying to keep it operating. Because after the end of the Napoleonic Wars, it was the law of international maritime territory. Now, cannon shot from this fortification, and that is only to remind us here in Denmark when we are in the morning to hoist the Danish flag and when we are to lower the Danish flag sunrise and sunset, because we do not fly the flags at night. Huge flag sculpture. This is not New York, and this is Copenhagen.
There she is, sitting on the rock.
Yes, here she is, become the symbol of Copenhagen and the symbol of Denmark, but unfortunately also the first victim for politically motivated vandalism, because she's the symbol of Denmark. So the sculpture has been beheaded, decapitated. Her head has been cut off twice for political motives, and one of her arms has been cut off for another political motive also. Actually, I'm going to say don't do it today, because there will be heavy rain after 4 p.m. Shipping company Maersk. Maersk transports 20% of all containers in the world, and Maersk shipping line recently purchased The church is called the Frederick's Church after King Frederick VII, who built this area. But all the Danes calls it the Marble Church due to the marble in the construction. You know what? If you're asking for directions, don't ask for the Frederick's Church because nobody knows where it is. But everybody knows where the Marble Church is. There is even a brand new metro stop underneath the church. It's only 2 years old. That has also been given the wrong name, of course, the Marble Church. I guess it is not easy to be the priest in that church because nobody knows the actual name of his service. And by the way, the royal family is very popular with the Danes. The previous regent, Her Majesty Queen Margaret, she used to be everybody's grandmother. Yeah, she would appear on national TV every year on New Year's evening, explaining us in a very grandmotherly way what was nicely done the last year and which things we could improve on. She also used to do paintings that would become the stamps for the letters we sent. But she has arthritis in her hand. She's a little bit entering in a few moments. When we turn around the corner here, there will be a bridge, so please stay seated. But in the canal, you will see many sailing boats. A few church with about what's going spiral staircase on the tower. I will tell you about it when we get closer. But also here, in respect of the neighbors living here, I will build silence on the microphone. It's a beautiful tour. Welcome in Christian's house, Canal. The palace of its name. So the palace on it to the right is one of the two original islands where Copenhagen was founded on in 1110. These are actually this castle there. It was torn down by the Danes or the Danes. Then they later built Copenhagen Castle. And then in 1740, King Christian VI tore everything down and built this Christian Sport Palace in 1740. And then unfortunately it burned to the ground and collapsed in 1794. This is the marble bridge, then the sandstone bridge. Yeah. They rebuilt the palace, but it burned to the ground and collapsed in 1884. The third version of the palace now houses the Danish parliament and a few royal functions such as the royal reception rooms. So in front of us comes another bridge, which is very narrow. Please keep your arms and fingers completely inside the boat. Do not touch the railings on the rear deck, especially on the rear deck on the left side of the boat. Please take care, they will lose some headroom as we're turning sharp right. The bridge is called the Storm Bridge, named after the storm on Copenhagen in 1659 when the Swedish army stormed Copenhagen with 20,000 soldiers against only 3,000 remaining soldiers in Copenhagen. Of course, the Swedish
Storm Bridge.
I
What's
can't
your
see
head?
because Ian's head's in the way. Wow. The Storm Bridge. Wow. This is very stormy.
At least it's dry in here.
This Storm Bridge.
Watch your head.
Mind your head, Ian. Look. Yeah, mind your head. You're right near the bridge.
What do you want me to do?
Look, your top of your head is near the Storm Bridge. I can see your little
The
grey
top
mark.
of your head is near the Storm Bridge. Alright, come on then. There's no need for that on your video.
Storm Bridge. I think we made it.
Coming up to the right in front of us on land, further ahead there is a big yellow building. The building to the right in front of us is Bertel Thorvaldsen's Museum, the most famous sculptor from Denmark ever, who lived and worked 40 years in Rome in Italy, where he had 5 studios and made works for the Pope and was very influential all around Europe at his time.
There is the building.
When Bertel Thorvaldsen returned to Copenhagen, nearing the end of his life, he
There's the bus going past. So Ollie's happy that we sat outside and we sat in some of the rain. So there's a heated